My name's Rob Ramsden and I'm the author and illustrator of I Saw a Bee, We Found a Seed, and the latest in this series, We Planted a Pumpkin. And this is the one that I'm going to read for you right now. I'm just going to change the camera view so you can see the book and the pictures much more clearly. We planted a pumpkin. One thing you'll notice in my books, lots of insects, and that's because I spend a lot of time in the garden and I notice all of the insects, so many insects, and I take notice of what they're doing, and then I sometimes feature them in the stories. So here we have a butterfly, and it's floating, fluttering, flying into the story. And buzz, another insect flying into story, this time a bee. And both of those are pollinators. They go from flower to flower, pollinating each flower to help it grow and help it become a seed. So this book is dedicated to all of the pollinators in the garden who helped the pumpkin on its way. I suspect we're going to see that butterfly and that bee later on in the story. We planted a pumpkin. This is us. We planted a seed to grow a pumpkin for Halloween. And beneath the earth, a root pushed down. The sun shone out and two leaves shot up. Go seed, go! We know you're trying. Each day you're growing. But oh, too slow. Too slow, slow, slow to be in time for Halloween. Flowers opened, bugs arrived. You see the ones from the beginning of the story who flew into the story? Bees, lace wings, butterflies. The flowers died, except for one, and underneath a small green bump. But it was not a pumpkin yet. Come on, bumpkin, go, go, grow. The bigger, the fatter, the better. Our pumpkin grew and grew and grew. It was big, it was fat, but it was green. Come on, plumpkin, go, go, orange. You can't be green for Halloween. Our pumpkin loved the summer sun, and when it didn't rain, we were the rain. And slowly our pumpkin's colour changed. The green became less, the orange more. Go, go, pumpkin, ripen up. Our pumpkin listened. It was big, and it was fat, and it was orange. It was ripe, but it was heavy. Pull, pull, pull. We pushed our pumpkin, oh so slow, very carefully. And we heaved it onto the tabletop. We hollowed it out, and we carved a face. Just in time for trick-or-treating, wailing, woo, and shouting, boo. On the night of Halloween. And that brings us to the end of the story. But this page once again has reminded me of the insects that feature in this story. I just want to go back to one part. I want to show you the ants. So while the children are growing pumpkins, the ants are doing something else. And you've got to take notice of the dandelions first and how they're flowering. And when they're flowering, when they're yellow, they're probably more interest to a bee who goes from dandelion to dandelion, getting some nice tasty nectar and some pollen. And that pollen helps the dandelions turn into seeds. And so you can see here that they're becoming seeded. And at this point, the ants begin to take notice. You see this ant here is taking notice of this dandelion here. Because when those seeds are ready, some of them will blow away on the wind, and they will plant, and they will become seeds that can grow, and they will become new dandelions. But some of them will be collected by the ants, and the ants will take them away to their nest. They will store them, and they'll eat them as part of their food. And throughout the year we get lots of dandelions. They grow over and over again, new ones come. And here you can see an ant which is looking up at some new dandelions. They're not quite ready yet, but he will be back. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that reading of We Planted a Pumpkin. If you did enjoy this story, you might also enjoy We Found a Seed. And you might also enjoy I Saw a Bee.